So do you want me to do an intro?
Yes, it's your podcast.
What?
I forgot. Yes. This is your podcast, so you have to do the intro.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Somebody get our act together.
Well, hey, y'all, and welcome to the Everyday Truths podcast. I'm Sherri, and this is a place where we leave perfection at the door and just talk real life. Today, we're starting something a little bit different, and we're calling it Table Talks. In this first episode, we are going to rewind back to the beginning. I'm telling the story of why I stepped away from church staff and started this podcast. It's raw, honest, and way more fun than I expected it to be. So let's get into it.
Well, hey there. My name is Sherri. This is my good friend TJ, Tiff, Tiffany. This
That's
first,
me.
middle, last name.
Yeah.
And this is the Everyday Truths podcast.
Yep.
And we're going to try something new out today. And we're calling this Table Talks.
Table Talks.
Table Talks. You're who encouraged me to do this. Is I am not a serious person most of the time.
Yes, she's not.
I'm not. But when it comes to like creating content, I am. I'm very much a perfectionist. I want everything to be a journey. I want it to be just right.
Yep.
And I think we're going to talk about this some, but I've kind of had to unlearn that a lot
Sure.
in this season. And so when it came out of like the first season of the podcast, it was like, working on producing it really well, working on all these details. And so season 2's coming. I'm like, well, it has to be perfect. And then it's been a huge, massive journey. It's taking way longer than I thought. It's going to be great. But then it's also like, I'm just not getting stuff out there. And that's why I started this, was to get stuff out there and to have fun with it and let it be more organic. And so you encouraged me, you're like, let's just try something different.
Let's just hang out.
Let's just hang out.
I mean,
and see
we
what
hang out
happens.
anyway.
We do.
We hang out anyway.
That does happen.
Yeah.
And so hang out, have some good conversations, and answer questions that come in, just talk about topics in like a far less formal kind of setting, even though we are in the studio and we're all set up, but a little less formal. And I love the idea of getting something fun out there.
And there's a lot in your brain.
I know, sometimes it just needs to come out loud.
Yeah, let me tell you about Sherri. There is a lot going on in that brain, and you guys see the edited version of it, but her mind is working like this all the time, and she has so many facts about all of the things like birds and pencils, and she has all of the things.
What do I know about pencils?
I don't know.
I'm excited.
But I just assumed.
I like your pencil.
Oh, thank you.
It looks like a real pencil, but it's lying.
So
it's a mechanical pencil.
That is a mechanical pencil that is made for children who are learning to write. And I love it because
it's like a sippy cup.
It's like a sippy
pencil.
cup. It's a sippy cup pencil.
Perfect.
And so
I love that.
I love it very much.
But I will say, just to the random,
Yeah.
in this season, it's coming out of the polished. I discovered on social and things like that how much I love just doing really dumb videos about life, about gardening, just being like really my very like kind of nerd, awkward, authentic. That's a better word.
It is your nerd, authentic self. Like, it really is.
And I've enjoyed that so much. It's been so life-giving, even on the silliest things, that I love that I'm going to try to like bring these worlds together some. Not that we're not going to talk about serious things, but I love it. And we're going to see where it goes. And
might teach you how to grow a tomato or something. Who knows?
Just the one.
How did you get here?
In my car, or like I got in my van. I drove here to the studio. Did I kick you? No. Okay.
You're like, Tiffany, I have a car. How did you get to the world of podcasting? Because this is new.
Yeah.
So you came from somewhere.
The year was 1988.
Is that the year you were born?
Yes, that's the year I was born. It was
you were
1988.
Born in 1988.
I was. Okay. And so I'll save you guys the math. I am 36. Probably by the time this episode comes out, I don't know. I turned 37 here at the end of the month. And so
I didn't know that.
And so it's coming. It's coming soon. And so where did I come from? And so for almost 13 years, I was in ministry, and my role progressed throughout that. And when I say ministry, I mean like vocational ministry, working for a church.
Right.
And so in the very like classic, like you were in ministry kind of sense. And so my role changed lots of times throughout that time. And at the end of my time working at a church, I was a teaching pastor was my title. And so I did a lot of other like job components, but like what my upfront job was that I taught in front of the congregation, and we had a lead pastor. And so he taught like a bulk share of the time, except I would come in and I would do like series throughout the year and stuff. So that's what people saw me as, was as a teaching pastor. And it just became very clear that was just not the right thing for me anymore. And it's like, sometimes I feel like God speaks to me, but probably through a lot of us, it's like there becomes this like discomfort and a lack of contentment that like can't be prayed away.
Right.
It's not like the kind of like, you're not called to perseverance anymore. And I felt like I was getting uncomfortable, and I didn't think I was called to perseverance anymore. And just wasn't the right thing. I was very burned out. I was exhausted. And a lot of that was job demand. A lot of that was probably lack of boundaries.
Sure.
And lack of like knowing myself and really listening to God in that season. So I stepped back. Like, all good things, have a great relationship still with the church that I left. We're actually recording in their studio. They're so generous and let me use the space. And so I stepped away thinking I threw everything away. It was such a difficult season. This is actually when Tiff came back into my life. We had known each other a decade ago. She had moved away and really came in, and there was just an incredible group of women who just came around me and just reminded me of just so many incredible things, like identity outside of the role that I had been in for so long. We won't get too deep into that.
And we don't have to, but that is such a thing that we do just in general, is the lines get super blurry between what we do and who we are.
Yeah. Or even being a mom.
Yes, and that's exactly what I'm talking about.
The job, being a spouse.
Being a wife, being a husband, being a mom.
Even our perceptions of ourselves. Like, I'm the strong one. Oh, sorry. I'm the strong one. Yeah. Or I'm the rock who holds everything together. Right. It's like we take on these pieces and then we don't know who we are.
Right.
Outside of that.
The labels and the titles and the expectations of others become, we own that instead of remembering that we are somebody whole despite all of the things we do, or all of our responsibilities, or all of those things. And so it makes sense, whether it's in ministry or anything else, to have those blurry boundaries, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so in that season, I thought, because I'd been working on several book projects. All right, if you can't see me, I'm just the face of shame of having not finished any of them, but that's not important right now.
I'm still working on several book projects.
I'm like, Lord have mercy. No, okay. But I stepped out and I was like, I'm gonna write and I'm gonna get these projects out. And like, I'm sure this will come up, but like lots of things that have happened in the last year, which, by the way, it's been
1 year.
Exactly a year, which is just super insane. And so when I stepped away, I was very much like, nope, I'm going to take a season just to be. I really thought I would come back into like a rotation as a teaching pastor in like some local churches that I have great relationships with, which they were open to.
Sure.
When everything came around, and it just became very, very evident that was not what God has for me in the season. It's a season to do this style of ministry.
Right. And it's interesting, like I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but when God tells you not to do something and you're like, okay, I won't do it, but I'm going to do it a little bit.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And then God's like, diarrhea. True story.
Yeah.
Anyway.
True story. Yeah, true story. Yeah.
And so
again, classy people.
Classy people. Yeah, literally, I was supposed to speak and I kind of felt that it wasn't the right thing, but I'm like, whatever, it's fine. I'm going to feel like me again and it's going to be great. And then was struck down by stomach bug anyway.
Yeah.
And so went out, started to write. God really provided me with this circle of women who just really spoke into me and really made it clear that this was going to be a season of like submission, including a submission to the opinions isn't the right word, the input of key people that God had placed in my life. And so within that, there was a lot of like, what's next? What's going to happen? And that's when, and I've told this a lot, but it's the story a lot, but it kept coming up. When are you going to start a podcast? When are you going to start a podcast? When are you going to start a podcast? And it was funny. Like I joke, and I'm completely serious at the same time. It came up like 30 times.
Yep.
As right before I was leaving the church, before everyone knew, before I even knew, it started coming up. And then after that, and so finally, when it kept coming up, like, it's like stones being thrown at a window. Like, it's like, eventually you're like, okay, who's there?
Yeah.
And so I went to this circle and I'm like, okay, is this something I need to do? And I'm selfishly fully expecting everybody to be like, no, Sherri, focus on writing, because everybody was like on me. They're like, where is it? Where's the book? Where's the book? And I'm like, I was working as fast as I can, deleting as much as I was writing because I'm not a perfectionist. 100%.
Were you writing like you were running out of time?
I can't tell if you're telling a joke.
Were you writing day and night like you were running out of time?
I wrote my way out. Okay. Hamilton. And so what's so funny is we did a recording yesterday for the second season, myself and my friend Clayton, and I think I quoted Hamilton like 7 times, and he kept looking at me like, Sherri, you got to stop. Like, I got all the Wicked out of my system recently, so Hamilton's like making a resurgence. Yeah. So you
were writing day and night like you were running out of time.
Like I was running out of time.
And then you had 30 people say,
when's the podcast starting?
So
I went to this circle of folks, and
we all said yes, Sherri.
To a person. They were like, yes. And I honestly went because I thought that I did have one person that was like, finish the book. But then they were also like, you definitely should. I'm like, dang it. And so I, kicking and screaming, started it in January 2025. First episode came out, and I kept dragging my feet. I recorded the first episode like just a handful of days before I put it out. Like I was like literally figuring out how to post it, to meet the deadline so that my friends didn't come for me. And I fell in love with it immediately. Yeah. And I don't know what it is about it. I love getting to just be a small part of people's life just from this format, and get to speak truth and life into people, and just hopefully equip people to go and live their faith out in their everyday life, because that is where we're going to have the impact. It's never going to be the perfect words, the perfect sermon, the perfect argument, Lord have mercy. Whatever it is, it's going to be when we go and we live out our faith in small everyday ways. And I think faith sometimes can feel so big that we forget about the small moments.
Right.
And I've loved getting to talk about those small moments. The first season was called Uncomplicated. You know, we were breaking down just how much we complicate faith and how it doesn't have to be that complicated.
Doesn't have to.
And
are there complicated things? Absolutely.
And
absolutely.
Yeah.
We're not saying that it's all so simple and so easy breezy, and it's not that. Nope. It's that we can take simple things and overcomplicate them.
Yes.
So that everything becomes complicated.
Yes.
Yeah. And we don't have to do that.
No, absolutely not.
That's what freedom is.
Yeah. And so it's and just because something's not complicated doesn't mean it's easy.
Right.
But it's like, well, let's know it's going to be real and relevant in our everyday lives, in our everyday flow, in our job, in making dinner for our kids, or you know, in our commutes, or whatever that looks like, in the middle of arguments, in the middle of dealing with our neighbors or our coworkers, or dealing with family dynamics. Like, that's where our faith needs to show up.
Right.
And so how do we make it real? How do we make it relevant? The way that I talk about it, like not front facing, is making it accessible and applicable. Because there's this great like Maasai proverbs that's like, you know, it's like knowledge is only knowledge until it lives in the bones. It's like, who cares if you're smarter? I don't think we're called to be smarter followers of Jesus. I think we're called to be more loving.
Right.
And I think that it's so easy to miss when we're playing the knowledge game. And so we need to be learners and not knowers. And I mean, I think that's what I've loved, is getting to learn together.
Yeah.
With this community.
Yeah. And I think it's so interesting that you say that, and this might be a little rabbit hole, but that we're going to go down. But I've had 2 women express to me in the last just like, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, that going to Bible study is super overwhelming to them because they think they're among experts, you know. Or I had another woman tell me, well, I'm not as well versed in the Bible, Tiffany, as you are, like, because I have not studied it to the depths that you've studied it, so I just don't know. But then when I hear her story, she's been in her faith for 20 years. Yeah. So she does know, she just knows different, or she knows my point is that the world, there's a lot of people in the Christian community that believe that they don't know enough, or they're not good enough, or they're not enlightened enough, or they're not, you know, and so I think that something like this is so equipping to people to help just kind of build that muscle, because it really is a muscle.
Yeah.
It is a muscle.
And as you were saying that, like, I got like lost somewhere because I got really mad. Because the fact is, it's like when we feel like we're not equipped, or you're like, I don't know enough, or I'm not learning. I mean, I'm not disciplined enough, or whatever. You know what? It's because we've been told that. It's because we've gone and we've sat in churches that have been like, if you're not reading this much, or if you're not memorizing this much, or if you're, and not every church and pastor is angry and yelling and stuff like that. But I'm just like I've definitely felt that guilt, like just by like, wow, that person knows more than me, but also because it's the matter-of-fact way of like, well, I'm up at 5 a.m. Like, I won't get into that. But like, it's how often is that being communicated? Like, oof. Like, even like influencers, social folks, like, I mean, just like, and if that's like the message you're receiving, it's like, go back to this verse, constantly in this season. But it's, we were talking about this yesterday. I had a Hey Sherri video recently that was about this recently. But it's like, there was a man named Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel. If you know the story of the nation of Israel, like it is up and down. It is all over the place. God shows up. They're really fired up. They kind of forget about him. Things go terribly. And then the cycle begins over again. And so it's one of the many times that they've gone into captivity. They've come back. Zerubbabel, our friend, he is tasked with building the temple. And so it's taking too long in the mind of the people. And basically the message from God is, it says, do not despise these small beginnings, because the Lord rejoices when he sees a plumb line in the hand of Zerubbabel, plumb line being just a string and a weight to show you when something is lined up straight. And in that, it's not like a really active tool. It's not like the hammer. It's this like tiny baby step forward. It's a kind of like checking your work. It's kind of, there's like this beautiful imagery between like the weight of the ground and like the line straight up, you know, but it's those small beginnings. Like the Lord rejoices. It's not like the Lord is kind of medium about it, or like, hey, like cut him some slack. He's kind of trying. Like, no, it's like the Lord rejoices. Right. And
it's like when you see your baby, your toddler take their first steps, or even after they first start.
I know, you're not like, you dummy. Like I've been walking the whole time.
Yeah, you should know. You should know how to walk.
Like what is this? Everybody,
God made you. You should know how to walk.
What's wrong with you? We've all figured it out, or a lot of us have figured it out.
You can't pick up your toy without falling. What's wrong with you?
What's your problem? Like, yeah. That's ridiculous.
Clip that.
And it's not even like
out of context.
That's the clip.
These women are baby haters.
Baby, no, that's accurate. Don't edit that out. It's like, what is it from Nacho Libre? It's like, I hate all the orphans. And so it is so significant. Whatever the step is, a step forward is a step forward. And how often are we not taking those steps forward because we think it's not big enough?
Right.
A step forward is a step forward is a step forward. You know, like tortoise in the hare, you know, all the things, all the analogies, just put them all together. And believe me when I say a step forward is a step forward.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. And I think there's the other side of that too, right? So there's the small beginnings, like if you're just starting, like that's super important. But I also think there is we're all made very differently.
Oh my goodness.
Right? There's 7 billion people in the world, something like that, right?
Oh,
am I right?
It's a lot. There's a lot of
us.
There's
billions.
In the words of Dwight Schrute, we need another plague. We don't need another plague, but that's what popped in my head, Dwight Schrute, because I don't
know if that joke aged well.
I don't think it did. It's like the movie Contagion. It's like you see it pop up on like your Netflix recommendations. You're like, oh yeah. Gosh,
but there's a bazillion people in the world, right? Yeah. Just like I was talking about earlier with my friend who was like, you know, I just don't know, but you do know, you just know it differently. You have a different perspective. You see a different facet of God that I don't see. Yes. And I think that it's just so important to have a space like this where you are having guests, you are having people who offer that, who
Yes.
offer those different
Oh,
perspectives.
yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm like, you and I are a lot alike in
Yes.
the way that we study, right? Like, let's pull out the books, let's pull out the commentaries. We want to see the original translations. We want to understand why this was said, the way it was said, who said it.
Yeah.
We want to know if somebody asks us about a verse, we want to say, well, the original Greek translation
Well,
said.
actually, like, it's like that guy. Oh.
Actually, and Paul, the
Swedish
reason Paul was speaking to the Jewish people in that particular tone of voice.
That should be season 3 of the podcast. Is just don't be that guy.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
I actually want it to be called Grow Up, but that's a different thing.
I like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, we can be like that with each other because we understand exactly where we're coming from. I wouldn't approach somebody who doesn't study in that way the same exact way.
Yes.
Right? Because they're totally different. And
I think though, and if you're somebody who maybe you're like, I've been a believer for a long time, or I really love getting into it. One, you do need to have the consideration and the intentionality because you should be coming alongside folks who aren't as mature in their journey, but you should also be side by side with those who are more mature than you are.
Absolutely.
But
What is it like the 3? You should have one above you, one beside you, one below you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's really good. But you have to not only just like never say everything you know.
Yeah.
Never ever say everything you know.
Yeah.
And in addition, yes, get at people's level. Like, well, the truth is the truth, and we gotta like absolutely. But like I don't know what the image. It's like playing dodgeball with a 3-year-old. You don't throw as hard as you can.
Right.
Maybe. Do you know? Okay, one. I've heard that dodgeball is coming back in the schools, but they don't use the rubber balls.
What do they
use? With like the lines. Like if you've never had like the 3x3 line like imprinted in the side of your face, it's
Are
like
they going to use a ball made of bubble wrap?
They're actually use the actual dodgeballs, which having done a lot of youth ministry, those things whip. And whip hard. Man, I just wait till the day, get, sixth grade boys get some attitude with me and be like, well, eventually we're going to play dodgeball
today.
Here we go. Because
Here we go.
Vindictive. Anyway, so you're mature and you're coming alongside, like in your faith, you're coming alongside those who are less mature in their faith. Like, dude, like it is okay not to say everything you know. Like, get on their level. Ask any question. Figure out why somebody is asking that question.
Right.
And meet them where they are.
Right.
Like, please, and then... And I cannot emphasize this enough. Have the humility to learn from them too.
Yeah.
Have
that's
the
a good
humility
one.
to learn from them too, because the fact of the matter is, I was like over like ministries that did like small groups for years, and this is a pet peeve, and this is a hill probably I would die on. So often it's you get into environments like small group environments or things like that, and folks are like, we need deeper content, and it's like I feel like the mark of maturity is learning to learn from anything and anyone, and then learning yourself to go deeper, but being okay sitting side by side with folks who aren't as advanced with you, and to learn from one another and to grow with one another. I think that's the beauty of community, because you were speaking about a friend who, maybe feels like she's not as mature in her faith. Well, no, having the opportunity to sit by somebody who they see as more mature in their faith and watching them like learn from them, like that is incredibly empowering.
Right.
And so don't be that.
Don't be that person.
Don't be that guy. Like you don't have to be the expert in the room. Like if they walk
Read
out,
the room.
Oh Lord have mercy, read the room. And I'm a nerd. I love going off in the context. That's why I'm always like, if I'm in an environment like that, I'm always checking in, be like, what percentage nerd am I
allowed to be
right now when I get like asked a question? Because I could so go into like Sherripedia mode.
Yeah.
And
but I also think too that, with that, I have to depend on like God working in me, like that Holy Spirit, like perspective, instead of myself. I think that when those things happen, where you have the person in the room, or you can almost always tell that person who wants to be the smartest.
Hiding in those details is so much safer than engaging relationally.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this for me, I'm not like, I am calling you out, but for us, like, well, actually, guys,
right.
We have to ask what we're hiding behind.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let's go to the other extreme. For the person who's like, I'm not as advanced as you are. Like, are you hiding behind that?
Right.
Like, what is it that are?
Yeah.
What is the excuse that you're using to not engage? Well, this content's not deep enough, so the small group's not good enough. Well, this is too difficult, so it's unobtainable. So it's like, and so of course, some of those things are true. Like there's going to be those true moments, but there's also that gut check of humility.
For sure.
And I think it's so significant. And I think that we are called to humility. I mean, this is, Paul talks about this just so beautifully. We are called to humility and community. We are called to unity and community. And so then let's make that an enjoyable experience and really have the humility to learn from one another. And that's what I love about doing this is I think hopefully creating space for folks to, because it's hard to have a conversation back at like we are looking at a camera right now.
Yes, we are.
There are realistically, there are lights and there is a camera action. And because that's how you have to, this is how you film things like this. But you use microphones so you can be heard and things like that. And so, nobody's talking back at us right now. But the way that I deeply desire to is to create tools to equip folks so that they can go and learn from one another as they live these things out in their everyday lives. And so it's like one step separated from community. It's like, but like I'm in community. Actually, I'm really bad at showing up to like our small group. Like I should be better about that. I mean, but that's accurate. Let's be real.
She's saying what I'm thinking.
Like, no, but like, let's
but it's
be
over
real.
for the summer,
like,
so you can come back in August.
Yeah, I can come back in August. But no, let's be real. Like, it's like if you're gonna say the thing. Like I'm really bad about it. And because I'd love to be like, I have my own personal community. And then also like, no, like, I mean, it's a struggle. That's a real thing.
But you've also been in transition for the last 12 months and you're learning things.
Oh, oh my gosh.
For the first time.
Gosh, let's do like part 2. That can be like big time part 2 of what's changed.
Right. But like a big part of it too, a big part of this journey for you has been able to sit in the seat in church 100%. With your family.
It's taken me a year to get there.
And learn and absorb and listen and just be with God. As he is saying, look, Sherri, I've taken you through all of this and I've done all of these things in your life for the last 13 years. And now it's like, I need you to, you've done a great job. Well done. You've done all of these things. But now, like, I'm ready for something new with you, right? Yeah. Like, the word that I shared with Sherri when I first met her was, like, new wineskins. Like, When we remet, and, like, I was like, stop. Like, new wineskins. Be still. I'm still learning. And if God is doing something different, you have to allow him to do those different things. And so through all of this conversation, I can hear your passion for what you're doing. I can hear your love for the Lord. I can hear your desire to be a bridge for people and whatever that looks like, right? Bridge pose. Just kidding. That's yoga.
Oh, yeah?
Bridge pose.
Cow.
Yeah. So,
Karate Kid.
Hey, you ought to be glad I didn't call you a cow. I called you a bridge.
Oh, my goodness. So, can I say something really awful?
You may.
Okay.
Well, if you want to hear the terrible thing I'm going to say, you're going to have to listen to the next episode, which is available right now. Now, if you've ever walked away from something good without knowing what was next, same. I am right there with you. And I hope that this gave you a little courage to trust God with the messy middle. Next time, we're digging into identity, obedience, and what happens when clarity disappears. Make sure to follow, like, and share with someone who needs to hear this today. Thanks for listening to the Everyday Truths podcast.